Do you want to play something that's a little puzzly but it's also about collecting stamps? Well, let's check out Stonemaier Games' new title, Stamp Swap. In Stamp Swap, players are attending a stamp convention over a 3-day weekend, and they are trying to collect the best possible stamp collection before the convention is over. What determines the quality of that collection is a series of contest cards which are put out in the beginning of every game. Players will curate their collections according to these contest rules and be able to score each contest once per game. The game is played over 3 rounds, and each round has 3 phases, starting with the collect phase. To start, players will flip 1 event card for each player in the game. This will set a round condition along with every item that's going to be up for grabs for that round. Once all items that are depicted on the cards are laid out, players will take turns one by one selecting the items that they want and placing them onto their daily collection spot of their player board. They can choose one item to keep in their reserve, which won't be swapped in the next phase. During the swap phase, players will take the items they've collected and divide them into 2 piles. Other players will have a chance to take one of these piles, leaving the other pile for your collection. You will also have an opportunity to take a pile from your opponents. Then players will take the combined items that they've collected over the past 2 phases and add them to their collection book on their player board. Now you can arrange these however you want as long as you're paying attention to the scoring conditions, because the last phase is the show phase. Now it's time to show off that impressive stamp collection by choosing one of the contests that were laid out in the beginning of the game. You can only have 1 entry per contest, so make sure you have maximum points before selecting. You will be able to enter 3 contests throughout the duration of the convention. After 3 days, or 3 rounds, there is one final show for final scoring. Once all points have been accumulated, the player with the highest points is deemed to have the best collection and is the winner. Now, I personally don't collect stamps, but I do know a thing or two about collecting. And this did make me feel like I was at a convention for 3 days trying to get the best collection possible. There's a lot to enjoy here. One thing I really like is the fact that every single game is going to be different because the scoring conditions are going to be different. I am personally a fan of the I cut and you take mechanic, which is featured heavily in this game. It offers an element of unintentional deception because you're trying to keep the things that you want in your collection, but make the other pile tempting enough for another player to take. And once the swap is complete, you can then add your collection to your book in any manner you choose, depending on which one of these scoring conditions you want to do for that round. I'd really like to thank Stonemaier Games for sending me this copy of Stamp Swap. If you haven't heard of them before, they're a big name in the industry. They've got a lot of classics out there. I highly recommend you check out their library. You can't go wrong with a Stonemaier game. I really hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, do me a favor. Give me a like, follow, and share. Until next time, I'm Steve, your tabletop hero. Thank you.